Situational irony happens in a story when an event happens that directly contradicts what the reader thought would happen. One unnecessary comma right there. Just get rid of. This repetition of happens and happens could be clarified a little bit. I would say situational irony exists in a story when an event happens that directly contradicts what the reader thought would happen. The short story Thank You Ma'am is about a boy, Roger, who attempted to steal a woman named Mrs. Jones' purse. And you need a little apostrophe to show possession. Unexpectedly, she takes him in and feeds him. Thank You Ma'am is a good example of situational irony because the reader expects Mrs. Jones to take Roger to jail, but instead she contradicts what the reader thought and takes him in. Maybe you could say by taking him in and giving him money. That might be a good way to do that. By taking. Good. Solid intro. In the story, Thank You Ma'am, the situational irony occurs toward the end of the story. So, in the story, toward the end of the story, again, that repetition should be avoided if you can. And here's another one. In the story, Mrs. Jones makes Roger dinner. Over dinner, she starts to him about her past. So, you want to proofread a little bit, right? And also, this is what we call a comma splice, which is when you've essentially got a run-on sentence that is created by comma. Over dinner, she starts to talk to him about her past. After she and Roger stop talking, she says, "Now here, take this $10 and buy yourself some blue suede shoes. The next time, don't make the mistake of latching onto my pocketbook nor nobody else's, because shoes come by devilish like that will burn your feet." After Mrs. Jones takes Roger in, the reader and Roger expects for her to send him on his way, but before she does, she gives him $10. Right? It should be $10 multiple, right? Plural. So this is repetitious of what the quote already says. And I'm wondering if we even really need it. Let's see what else you say. This contradicts what the reader thought was going to happen. Okay, so here's the problem. We don't need this, but we need more from this. You need to say, we expected this to happen. Instead, this happened. And what effect does that have on the reader then? Yes, good. Otherwise, good. So you need to expand that explanation section, definitely. And then you don't need to, again, restate that we have situational irony. There is a good example of situational irony in Thank You Ma'am, because the reader nor Roger thought that Mrs. Jones would give Roger the $10 he had earlier tried to steal. The situational irony reinforces the theme, which is caring for people can affect how they act, because when Mrs. Jones cares for him and gives him money, it affects his outlook. It might be nice to use Roger's name again here. For some reason, I'm feeling that need, cares for Roger and gives him money. It affects his outlook on life and stealing. I think you can just say it affects his outlook on life. I think that we kind of get that the stealing is a part of that. When applying this theme in real life, people should be kind to others because it might cause that person them to change for the better. So clearly there's something kind of wonky going on in that final sentence. Very nice overall, Hope. This is really good. Please address all the comments that I made, not just the ones that I wrote down, because there are some that I only spoke, but that are still just as valuable and important as the ones that were written down. And if you have any questions about any of my comments, of course, please see me. I'd be happy to explain them. And look forward to the final draft.